When you put the tape on of the Dallas Cowboys rookie center Cooper Beebe, you see a guy that has the potential to become one of the best centers in the NFL. Beebe, in my opinion, is going to be an absolute superstar. And it's just a matter of time until most media members, most fans of other teams start to recognize that, because I think a lot of Cowboys fans already see it with Cooper Beebe. But in this video today, I want to share with you guys why I think some of what this guy does on tape is going to translate into him becoming one of the best centers in the NFL. There's little things this guy does where you say that's absolutely impressive. From being able to exchange with the left guard here, where he's making it look so effortlessly. He's able to take the guy that Tyler Smith has here, Kalijah Kancey, a really good defensive tackle. Kancey's going to jump to the inside of Tyler Smith, and Beebe's going to recognize that, the slide to the left. He's going to pick it up so quickly, and then he's going to just anchor down. And this stuff right here is not normal, but Cooper Beebe does this pretty much every single week. So I'm excited to get into this tape and really break down what this guy has done on tape that I absolutely love. We're going to get into it right away. One of the things that Beebe does well is he understands his responsibility within plays. Right? He understands sometimes you're not going to be able to cut guys off because guys are great run defenders. So there's other ways to beat these guys. And here's an example where Beebe goes up against one of the best run defenders in the NFL. Now, this is a pin pull to the left, so I don't think Vita Vea would technically have been able to shoot this gap and chase it down over here because, of course, it's a pin pull towards the left. But Beebe does a really good job just cutting this guy off, right? Just essentially taking out the legs. And that does a couple of things within these run concepts. So as you guys are going to see here, Beebe's obviously going to take the legs out of Vita Vea. Just a really good job the way he cut blocks as well. He's going to end up getting his shoulder right in front of the legs. And this is a really good job here because it's going to create a natural cutback lane. So as this play continues here, notice how from where essentially Vita Vea is here, look at all the cutback options. The running back could hit this through here. He can bend this back inside here, depending on what the guy over here does. This wasn't really that good of a block here by the left tackle. He basically gets shedded by the defensive end there. But the cutback lanes is essentially there, and that's because of the cutback by Cooper Beebe, right? It's the cut block by Cooper Beebe. So that's a really, really good job. Now, the play only picks up a couple of yards because of the fact that the left tackle here, Chuma Edoga, is not able to seal out the defensive end. To me, you got to be able to make this block. It's not a super difficult block. He even initially reaches, does a pretty good job with the left hand to try to turn that. But you got to follow up with the footwork, right? You got to be able to flip the hips. But he is going to end up getting clubbed by the defensive end. And the defensive end's going to be able to spin off of it. And he's the guy that's going to make the play. Now, if that guy doesn't make this play, this is a big game potentially, right? But again, not a huge deal. Just wanted to point it out. But with Cooper Beebe, you got to recognize that cut blocking isn't as simple as the helmet just hits the legs, right? There's a real science behind it. And you got to use the shoulder pads and the body, right? If the body gets in front of this guy, the guy's not going to be able to get off the block. If you try to use your helmet and jump into the legs, sometimes these guys are able to stay upright, right? So this is a good cut block here by Cooper Beebe. Let's also look at some of the other plays where you look at and say, that's a really, really impressive play. Starting with this play here, he's going to do a really nice job being able to climb up to Levante David. Very, very difficult block to be able to make this. To me, when I look at this play here and I look at what the center does on this one, it's mostly impressive because of the guy he's doing this up against and the alignment he's specifically in as well. You can see where Beebe's kind of lined up, and you see the linebacker here, so all-pro linebacker, is already shaded to the right side. So what that means is David has to stay to the right side of that center. If the center tries to run over here somewhere and make a block, it's the linebacker's responsibility to get over the top and stay in that run fit over here to the right side, right? So again, very, very important concept to understand. And Beebe still does a pretty good job. He's going to make contact with David, and he's going to end up taking him to the ground. And that's all you can really expect from a guy like Beebe on this type of play. Now, the play only picks up about 2.5, 3 yards. But you guys can see the play does not pick up the yards because some of the other guys, Edoga is not going to be able to get to the linebacker. Tyler Smith also is not going to be able to cut Vita Vea. Not a terrible job with the cut block, but, it could be a little bit better in my opinion. You see he kind of just turns as he jumps into Vea. Not a huge deal, but you do see the block by the center, right? And it's the little things that this guy does. From the way he cut blocks with the shoulder pads and really getting that body into these guys. At the same time, the way he's able to climb up to the second level, how he's able to get to these linebackers and make contact with them, right? It's very, very, very impressive. And of course, another thing this guy does really well is he's a straight up people mover. And you see that on tape. Multiple times this guy's able to move people out of the gap. Him and Tyler Smith are both doing a really nice job. Here's an example of where you have basically two all-pro players. You got Villa, you got Levante David. And this is the type of matchup you want to watch, right? Because left guard center, those are two really, really good players. And then on the other side, you have two equally really, really good players. And you see the double team by the two on Villa. And then, of course, they're going to process it to David. And it's just a really good job by both guys to get that movement, to be able to create that gap for Turpin to be able to hit. Here's another one where you're going to see Beebe do a really, really nice job. And this is probably the type of play that, you can watch this play and say, that guy's going to be a good football player, right? Just the processing, being able to recognize the play, the concept, understand what the linebacker's doing. Think about the block this guy has to make here relative to where the linebacker is. And look at how he's able to get there and he's able to make the block. This was 3rd and 8. He picked up 7 yards on this play. To me, this is such a great job here by Beebe. Right? It doesn't get better than that. The fact that he's able to pick off a linebacker in space, which is something that's very, very difficult to do. Right? He's quick enough. He's agile enough. He's able to make contact with these guys. The helmet placement is perfect. The shoulder pad placement is perfect. And more than that, the running back sees it. It's just beautiful the way this guy's able to pick it off. And these are the type of plays that flash to me on tape with a guy like Cooper Beebe. Now, another thing that this guy does a really good job at is obviously pass pro, right? It's the whole second element of being a good offensive lineman. I think run blocking usually shows you if a guy's a good football player. And then, of course, if you have the strength in pass pro, that's another huge element of being able to be a good offensive lineman. And this guy has so many snaps where he ends up playing one-on-one against Kalijah Kancey or Vita Vea. And over the course of the season, he's had a lot of these type of snaps, but he basically just anchors down against these guys. Right, these are some of the best players at their positions. They're hard to block. They're strong. They're physical. Some of them are super fast and explosive. And you see Beebe, as soon as he gets his hands on these guys, it's absolutely impressive. The way this guy's able to snap the football, get his hands on these guys, and as soon as he makes contact, he's able to latch, and then he just mirrors the movement. And the fact this guy plays with such great leverage, he's able to get low. The base is nice. This guy's able to anchor down, right? And you get these reps like this, where he just does a really, really good job being able to stay on top of these guys. But there's a ton of reps like this on tape. Take this one here as an example. One of the things the Tampa Bay Buccaneers love to do is they love to mix up and flash those linebackers, move guys around, put guys in the A gaps, the B gaps, move them pre-snap. And they do a lot of this stuff, right? And essentially on this one here, you're going to see that the center is going to do a really nice job being able to pick it up and pass it off. This is 3rd and 9, and you're going to pick the first down up. Now, I don't know if these guys would have ever gotten to the quarterback because the quarterback does get the ball out on essentially a 3-step drop. But you see what happens within this play, right? Now, if you look at this play here, both the defensive tackle here as well as the defensive end here are going to both end up dropping off, right? So if you guys keep an eye on both guys, they drop off, and then you're essentially going to bring 4 guys to the left with the guy coming off the edge as the 5th guy. So you're essentially trying to trick the offensive line, but with Cooper Beebe, that does not work, right? You see how quickly he's able to kind of process it. He's going to take Kalijah Kancey here. He's going to pass it off to the right side because he recognizes that Kancey's slamming across his face. He also sees the linebacker coming to the opposite A gap. So you're going to see him take Kalijah Kancey, pass it off to the guard, gets his hands right back up, and essentially is going to get to the linebacker. Now, obviously, you got the fullback to help, but you still see Cooper Beebe do a nice job processing it. And he helps the right guard by not letting Kancey get a free shot at the right guard, right? That's a really good job right there by the guy up front to be able to process it, pick it up, and pass it off. When I watch this guy's tape in pass pro, is very, very consistent and clean, and the processing that this guy has is probably some of the best you'll see among any offensive lineman in the NFL. Right? Everything that's kind of happening out in front of him, he's seeing it, he's processing it, he's picking it up. And you basically have a guy like Tyler Smith that does everything Cooper Beebe does, vice versa. And I'd make the argument there's not a better guard and center combination given that the Cowboys are healthy. To me, this unit is absolutely incredible on the inside. And of course, it'll come down to the health aspect of it. They might have to replace Zach Martin sooner rather than later. But truth be told, the Dallas Cowboys offensive line is set for a really, really long time. You got a great center. You got a great left guard. Tyler Guyton will obviously have to develop and become a top-tier left tackle. You have some options at the right guard position. And Terrence Steele is a guy that I think can continue to get better and better and better as he gets healthier. Not every team has all-pro tackles at both positions. And truth be told, I'm not sure if it makes sense to replace Terrence Steele right now. I think it'd be better for the Dallas Cowboys to potentially focus on revamping the weapons on the offensive side. I think Terrence Steele is a serviceable tackle. He's probably still a top 30 tackle in the NFL. You got another really nice play once again The center is going to end up running behind the defensive tackle, wind up in the 2-eye. This is a screen play, and it's just a really, really nicely executed play by the guys up front. If the Dallas Cowboys are able to run more concepts with these two guys right here, where you're essentially going to run a screen towards the left side, and those two guys are the guys that kind of lead, you're going to have a lot of success, right? I mean, you see how this is designed. This is a good design concept as well. You see the center is going to end up stepping towards the right. The defensive tackle is going to go unblocked, and he knows something's happening, right? He realizes it right away. That's an all-pro caliber defensive tackle. But the thing is by the time he realizes it's a screen to the left, Cooper Beebe's already going to have looped around him. And he's going to already have picked off Vita Vea. And to me, that's such a great job right there. Like, it does not get better than this block here. Just the way he loops around it. And that too, Tyler Smith then gets up to the next level, and he also picks it off. And you're going to pick up 10 yards on 2nd and 16. Right, so a really, really good job by the guys up front. Overall, Cooper Beebe is obviously a very, very smart football player. You see it play in, play out, right, where he's able to process kind of what's happening out there. He's a guy that's physically dominant as well, and I think as the speed of the game continues to slow down and he's 100% used to playing that center position, I think we're going to have a guy that's a top 10 center in the NFL. If I was a betting man, I would 100% put my money on this starting center right here because this guy's the real deal. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, consider subscribing. The Dallas Cowboys may actually be back as they're finally finding that success on the offense side of the football. And we're starting to see success among the offensive line. We're starting to see some of the play callers. We're starting to see some of the pass catchers kind of come together as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thumbs up, subscribe. We're going to continue to cover the Cowboys. And I will see you guys next time with another video.